What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Boondockbuilds. My name's Jamie, and oh baby, do I have some great projects lined up for us today. Now most of you met my 7-year-old Boondock Jr. on the channel somewhere, but what I haven't told you is there's also a baby Boondock, my 10-month-old baby boy. Now you might not have any little kids running around the house, but most of us at least know someone who does. So today, we're gonna make some baby-friendly projects that you can make for a loved one or sell for a big profit. Let's dive on into it. Okay, so for our first project, we want to cut a piece of walnut and cut a piece of maple down to 7 inches in length, and then we want to glue those together. So here I'm going to pull over 2 3/4 of an inch over from the edge, mark that line, and cut that down. And I forgot I was recording, so I apologize for cutting it off. So next what we want to do is take this piece here and pull down 1.5 inches and mark that where it is. So let's do that. Then next what we're going to do is find the center of this here, mark it, and hit it with a hole punch. And I made a mistake here. You're actually going to want to do this on the middle piece. So over here at the drill press, we're going to take our 1 5/8 Forstner bit, and we're going to drill down just past the piece of walnut here. We barely want to get into that second piece of wood on this. Okay, so now that we have this drilled out, we're going to cut one more piece of maple down to the exact same size. So let's get that done. Here, I just grabbed a few BBs from a BB gun and tossed them in the hole. Okay, so now that the glue is dry, we're going to take this and draw out whatever design we want to put on this, and we're going to take that over to the bandsaw. So I forgot to mention earlier that before you take this to the bandsaw, I don't really need this thick, so we're going to take and cut just a little bit off on each end and make it even. So I cut this down to roughly 1/4 inch off on each side. Then we're going to draw out whatever kind of design you'd like. And we're going to cut that out at the bandsaw. Now if you've ever made anything for one of your kids, let me know what you made in the comments. And if you haven't, tell me what you want to make them. Okay, so now that we have the shape we want cut out, we're going to take it on the sides and curve this down a little bit for the handle. Here, I pulled over 1/4 inch on each side, bringing it back to just the bare walnut, and then curved it at the top. So now that we have the overall shape that we want, I'm going to take this and fine tune it on the belt sander. Then I have these sanding drums here, put that up to the drill press, and really give this thing a nice shape. Let's jump to it. And once you get to the drum sander, you're going to want to get all those nooks and crannies and really make them curves blend really nicely. So now that we have everything sanded and shaped just like we want it, we're going to take some sandpaper and get rid of this edge right here and round that over. And there we have it, guys. A nice baby rattle. I've already shown this to baby Boondock, and he loved it. So I think it's a winner. I do want to say, make sure the baby you're giving this to, if you're making it out of walnut, make sure there's no allergies. But all in all, a fun project. If you posted this on Etsy, I think you can probably at least get $35 out of it. So that makes a very big profit. Let's move on to project number 2. So for this project, the first thing we want to do is take a piece of maple and cut that down to 8 inches. So let's get that done. So I learned this trick from Who's the Boss that you can use Elmer's school glue to glue down your paper templates. And then I'm going to use my 1¼ Forstner bit to drill 2 holes in the front and the back of the shark. And then I'll take my ruler, line the edges of the circles up, and trace that out, and I'm going to cut these out on the scroll saw. And then I took it over to my bandsaw to cut the front half of the shark out. So before I go any further on this, I want to go ahead and drill my hole from the nose here and stop it somewhere around here on the tail. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh man, is this sketchy right here. Now you're going to want this to be as straight as humanly possible, because if you get off, then your dowel rod is not going to fit correctly. And luckily, it went straight through without a problem. Then we're going to take this back over to our bandsaw and finish cutting it out. Next, we'll head over to the router table and give it a nice round over edge all the way around both sides, inside and out. Next, I'll take it back over to the drum sander and just fine tune those edges. And then we'll put in our dowel rod and these beads that I got from the craft store. And once we cut that dowel rod off, we're going to sand that down back smooth and rub this down with some food grade safe finish. Alright guys, and that is going to do it for project number 2. We have a nice teething toy here. Perfect, because my son's got 3 teeth coming in at one time. Terrible time for him. I feel bad for him. But let's move on to project number 3. So for our last project, all you're going to need is a scrap piece of 1x12. We're going to need about half of this, all pine, super easy. Let's get it. So we're going to start this one by tracing 3/4 of this bucket all the way around, flip it over to the smaller side, slide it over, and trace that as well. Then we're going to trim that excess off so it is out of our way. Next, we're going to go over to our bandsaw and cut out this moon. Alright guys, so I've had these little thin stars for a while, but I want these a little thicker for this project, so we're going to trace them out and also cut those out with the bandsaw. So after we get everything cut out, we're going to go over to our sander and make sure everything is sanded up to 320 grit. And then we're going to drill a hole in the top of each star and 3 in the bottom of our moon. Well, it appears that the rope I bought is a piece of junk. So we're going to go buy some more. So once you get the rope, you're going to want to burn the edges so they do not frail on you. That's what the issue was with the previous rope I had. But you're going to stick these through and tie a knot on each end. And then once you do that, you're going to want to burn the other end of the rope and push it through the stars and tie another knot. And then lastly, I took this piece from a picture hanging kit and nailed it in place. And project number 3 is done, guys. Now, normally I would stain this or paint it, like paint the moon white, paint the stars yellow, whatever, but my wife wants to do a craft with the kids, so I am leaving this plain in this video. But feel free to paint it or do it plain, let your kids paint it. Great idea. All right, guys, and there we have it. 3 easy projects that you can do for your baby, a loved one, or sell for a very big profit. If you want to check out the last video, click right here. We'll see you guys next time on Boondock Builds.